Welcome to the channel. My name's Rob and I am just an Englishman reacting and learning about other countries, and in this case it's Poland. And this weekend I am heading to Wrocław in Poland, and I am going to use ChatGPT to find out what the best and worst things about this city are, and then I will be able to find out firsthand if it's true or false. If you do enjoy this video, make sure you like and subscribe. So this is quite interesting. Wrocław, also known as the Venice of Poland, is a vibrant and historic city with its own unique charm. Here are some of the best and worst things about Wrocław. Venice of Poland? You'll have to confirm with me on this one, and at the weekend I will be able to work out if it really is the Venice of Poland. But that's an interesting title to give Wrocław. So on to number one of the best things. Rich history. Wrocław has a fascinating history that dates back over 1,000 years. That is quite some time. The city has been influenced by various cultures and empires, resulting in a diverse architectural landmark and a wealth of historical landmarks. That makes sense, right? That does make sense. We all know Polish history in the fact that it's got bigger, smaller, taken over completely, grown again. So those cultures that would have influenced certain parts of Poland, and if not most of Poland, you know, you've got Wrocław is on the southwest side, isn't it? So, you know, the Romans, the Germans, the Prussians were at the top. The bottom, I can't remember who were the bottom after the Romans, but basically there are all these different cultures that have come into Poland, and they would have left some of their mark on the architecture especially. So I'm very, very looking forward to being able to try and see the differences from the different eras that have then placed their different buildings and architecture into the city. On to number two. This is quite similar. Architectural beauty. This city boasts a stunning array of architectural styles ranging from Gothic to Baroque to modernist designs. The market square, Rhein-Neckar, is one of the largest in Europe, and it's surrounded by colourful buildings, picturesque alleys and charming cafes. I'm really, really looking forward to that actually. I love the pictures, and it's very similar to a lot of the Polish cities where they've got the big market square in the middle and you've got all the different alleys going off it. But to have those colourful buildings around, those pastel colours, is just going to be so beautiful. I cannot wait. And to say that it's one of the largest in Europe, hopefully that will kill some time. But as I was saying about in the previous, in the number one, the whole Gothic, Baroque, modernist styles that you see, we saw that at the cathedral in the Vistula Castle in Krakow. It was beautiful, and it's seeing it's like someone had got Lego pieces and put those Lego pieces together and from all different styles and done that. So I'm hoping that's sort of similar in Wrocław, but on a larger scale. So that is going to be really interesting. I'm sure I can relax if the weather's nice in a cafe, trying to taste some Polish food or Polish delicatessens. Cannot wait. So that's an interesting one. Number three, cultural hub. Wrocław is a major cultural centre with numerous museums, art galleries, theatres and music venues. The city hosts various festivals and events throughout the year, including the renowned Wrocław Good Beer Festival and the Bratislava Catans International Festival. Now, I don't think I'm going to be there for that. I don't necessarily think I'm going to experience those cultural centres, the museums, art galleries, theatres and musical venues. Certainly not theatres and musical venues, because I'm there for a short period of time, whether or not certain things of interest will be on. And I'm not sure if maybe there's the big round art, I can't remember what it's called now. You guys, I'm sure, will tell me. I've been recommended where you've got the 360 wall of art. That may be something I would like to go to, but I don't know how good museums and things are when you're vlogging. So that will be on the vlog channel. Yeah. If you want to watch my trip to Wrocław, please go over to the vlog channel, Charlie and Rob, or go to charlieandrob.com and you'll find them there when they are released. Number four, student life. I don't know if I'm ready for student life. Those years are past me. Wrocław is home to several universities, attracting a large student population. This contributes to a vibrant and youthful atmosphere with plenty of bars, clubs, cultural activities, catering to student community. Now, I think, actually, that would make sense. If you've got those universities, for example, and colleges possibly, I think a younger population to a city does benefit the city because they're bringing more entertainment. You know, the city then caters to more of the younger audience and therefore more entertainment and more exciting things maybe. But I'm interested to know what the tourist side of things will be, because I certainly don't think I will meet any British people in Wrocław. It's certainly not a place that I think British people would travel to, let alone somewhere that British people can even pronounce. In Britain, people will pronounce Wrocław Wrocław. I've got no doubt, because that's what I thought it was, but it's not. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the vibrancy of the city. I'm actually really looking forward to the fact that there probably won't be any British people. That's what initially enticed me to visit Krakow in 2012, because I didn't think many British people would be there, and at the time there weren't. It's changed slightly now. But that's good for the city that it's got a youthful side of it, for sure. Number 5, green spaces. The city is known for its abundance of parks and green spaces. Oh God. Shichinitsky Park is a beautiful Japanese garden and Centennial Hall, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a popular spot for relaxation and recreation. Now, that's awesome that it's got those UNESCO sites. The Japanese garden is somewhere I've seen. It's one of the top places on TripAdvisor to visit. When we were in Australia, in Sydney, when we went to a Chinese botanical gardens, and it was beautiful, and I would assume that the Japanese gardens would be very similar, so I may visit there. But that's what you want in a city. You want those green spaces that people can relax. You don't want a city that is just pure buildings and concrete and brick. You want some of the green space so people can relax, they can get away from the hustle and bustle, and so it's great to see that. Now, on to the worst things about Wrocław. 1, crowded tourist areas. Okay, some parts of Wrocław, especially the market square and Old Town, can get quite crowded, particularly during peak tourist season. This can make it a challenge to navigate through the streets and enjoy a peaceful experience. Now, this is a problem with cities, right? Anyway, especially touristy cities, which I'm not sure how much Wrocław is a touristy city. As I said in the previous, I don't think there'll be many Brits, so that's a plus. And obviously it depends what time you go. But I think a lot of cities have this main problem where sometimes if they're overly touristy, you can't move. You just can't move, and you can't enjoy. You want to be able to walk at a slow pace, looking at all the shops and looking at all the different architectural sites. I really don't know how busy it's going to be. It's going to be the 2nd to 4th of June, the 1st of July to the 4th of July. I don't know what my dates are. So I don't know how touristy it will be. It's still term time over here, so whether or not it's term time in other countries for schools, that plays an impact, obviously. But I'm really, really interested, and hopefully it won't be too busy. Fingers crossed. Then number 2, language barrier. That will be an issue for me. While many people in Wrocław speak English, especially in tourist areas, you may encounter some language barriers, particularly when interacting with the older residents or outside of popular tourist spots. Learning a few basic Polish phrases can be helpful. Dzień dobry, dziękuję. I've got a couple. I do want to learn more. But I think this is a big thing in Poland and possibly those Eastern European places or more Central European places, that the older generation, they don't necessarily know English because when they were growing up, they didn't have to learn it and therefore it wasn't an issue. Whereas I think the younger populations of most countries now are learning English from a young age. And I know English isn't necessarily the number 1 language, but it's certainly, I would think, number 2. And I think us English take it for granted, and I'm generalising, and I love to at least learn a few, please, thank you, hello, which is basic, I know, but at least it's trying. But that's what Google translates for at the moment. I will be trying to learn more, but I love it. Why should language be a barrier to understanding each other? I don't think it should be, and I know it is, but it shouldn't be. So fingers crossed that won't be too bad. Now, number 3 for the worst things, traffic congestion. Wrocław experienced heavy traffic at times, particularly during rush hours. I'm sorry, what city does not? Even my little city of 110,000 suffers bad traffic at peak rush hour times. This leads to congestion and delays, especially in the city centre. However, the city has been investing in improving its public transportation system to alleviate the issues. Once again, yes, it is probably a problem, but is it not a problem in most cities these days with the amount of traffic on the roads during rush hour? You know, the school run, for example, or 5 o'clock rush hour. I don't think this is any different, but that's not taken away from the fact that it's possibly one of the worst things. But it would be the same in every city, probably. Number 4. This is the last one, amazingly. There's only 4 bad things, which is a good thing. Cold winters. Well, luckily, I'm not going in winter. Wrocław, like much of Poland, experiences cold winters with temperatures dropping below freezing. If you're not a fan of cold weather, you may find the winter months less enjoyable. Now, actually, yes, I'm not going during winter. It's July. It should be warm. It's mid to late 20s. The forecast says, with a bit of showers, which is disappointing. But I actually love the fact about Poland that it gets really cold. You know, you wrap up. This is the thing. As long as it doesn't rain, you can wrap up, stay warm enough. But I think it adds to the atmosphere. Honestly, Poland during the winter, I've been now twice in January, once in April when it snowed to Krakow, and it's amazing. It adds to the atmosphere. You can go to a bar and have a warm hot chocolate or something, and when you get back, the houses in Poland and apartments are suited to the cold temperature. The heating is great, for example, so it's so nice. It's also great in the summer when it's nice and hot, and that's what I'll probably be experiencing, warmish weather. It's just not going to reach 30s, but mid to late 20s for sure, so I'm really looking forward to that. Now, let's add this caveat actually, because at the end of this, I've not had any of these in any of my ChatGPT videos. It is important to note that these drawbacks are relatively minor compared to overall appeal of Wrocław. The city offers a fantastic blend of history, culture, and vibrant urban life, making it a delightful destination for travellers and residents alike. I've not had that sort of paragraph in any of the other cities that I've looked at. Melbourne, Adelaide, Sydney, Krakow. I've not had any of that. So that is a real positive from ChatGPT about this city. Now, I cannot wait to get to Wrocław on Saturday. I may be able to meet up with people possibly on Saturday evening if I find somewhere, and I will let you know on the channel where I will be for anyone that wants to come and meet me with a drink and maybe a vodka. I'm so excited. I've absolutely loved learning more about Poland. As I said, I've been 4 times now, dating back from 2012, and it is just such an awesome place to visit. So make sure, if you want to keep watching more about Poland and me learning more, like and subscribe. And as always, I will catch you next time.